Okay, humor me for a second. Just imagine a Call of Duty game by Deck 9, or an Animal Crossing game in the hands of FromSoft. These IPs and developers don't make any sense together, but I bet you're imagining a game that's pretty awesome. A game that uses the strengths of the studio to conjure up an experience that would actually make sense. I like to share with you a list that comes from a universe inside my mind where developers and IPs can just be thrown around to anybody who wants a piece of the pie. I think these dream collaborations that I'm about to share with you might make a bit more sense than Animal Souls or Call of Strange. Or they might just be as crazy, but just so crazy, they might work. Insomniac Games has many strengths, such as their beautiful presentation and engaging combat, like the unique gunplay found in Ratchet or the impactful melee combat in Spider-Man. Furthermore, what I think Insomniac does best, and what would make it perfect to tackle this franchise, is traversal. That franchise being Sonic. Look, movement and momentum are important aspects of Sonic's fast-paced gameplay, but honestly, the level of quality for said aspect is inconsistent across Sonic's many entries. Insomniac, however, has the ability to make fluid, responsive, and simply fun movement for all their playable characters. It can be seen across most of their recent catalog, from Sunset Overdrive to Miles Morales. It's just so fun to move in those games, so much so I never fast traveled while playing those titles. Additionally, Insomniac's artistic presentation and amazing level design would allow them to create unique Sonic levels and reimagine classics like Green Hill Zone in new ways that make them feel fresh. I think Insomniac and Sonic are a match made in heaven. Would it ever happen? No, but it makes sense. I know I'm not the only one who's dreamed of this one. With Pokemon Remakes, Game Freak transitions the pixel art sprites to 3D models as seen with Let's Go and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. For this remake, however, we give Square Enix the reins, more specifically the team behind Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. Just imagine, the original 100 sprites remastered, the various towns of Kanto handled with the same amount of care as the world of Octopath, and so much, and I mean so much lens flare. Maybe add a few quality of life changes to this remake, but all that I want, and all that's really needed, is an HD nostalgia trip. Kanto revived in a 2D HD art style would be amazing, and breathe life into Pokemon without really doing much new. No need for a gimmick, just Pokemon Red and Blue, really pretty. I wanted a game set in the Avatar The Last Airbender universe for a long time now. And no, The Last Airbender on the Wii does not count. I mean, it does, but it's not what I was looking for, okay? I want a game that can expertly handle the narrative, the world building, the politics of the universe, while also delivering a combat system that does justice to the inspired art of bending. At first, I thought an Avatar game led by BioWare would be perfect. I do think the story the team would craft would be great, but I'm not confident that the combat would be of the same caliber. Even so, a narrative-heavy Avatar game would have so much value. That universe is rich with stories and characters to explore. I also thought about how Rocksteady would do combat beautifully for a game set in this universe, crafting a solid melee-focused system that shows off the many martial arts that influence bending. However, I'm being greedy. These are dream games. I want the whole package. So, with that said, I think I could feel pretty confident in Guerrilla Games to deliver a polished experience. Now imagine a vast open world filled with polar bear dogs, fire ferrets, and otter penguins. No, you do not hunt them for resources, they're just there to pet you, animal. I mean, just imagine playing as a new avatar and traveling across the many regions in search of mentors, and covering secrets of those who came before you, and just some good old dialogue options to add flavor to your adventure. And I think combat would be in pretty good hands too. Horizon has some engaging weapon combat, and although the melee combat found in those games is fairly simple, I'm sure Guerrilla, given the time, is capable of achieving a fun combat focus on bending. So yeah, sure, BioWare might produce a better narrative and Rocksteady better combat, but if I wanted a quality package, a package that had a strong showing for both narrative and combat, I think I'll give Guerrilla Games the task. Capcom has been on a winning streak since Monster Hunter World, and they have been breathing new life into the Resident Evil franchise with their remakes, essentially raising the bar and changing what gamers think when they simply hear the word remake. All I ask is that they do the same for one of my favorite Zeldas, one that they actually helped develop, The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Minish Cap has beautiful sprite work, and the miniature world of the Minish, or Picori if you ask a Hylian, is still impressive to this day. Unlike my Pokemon remake dream though, I want Capcom and Nintendo to bring that beautiful pixel art and reimagine it in a cel-shaded 3D art style, similar to Wind Waker HD. I'm sure Capcom's work on Beautiful Joe and Okami would prove very useful in this undertaking. No doubt this dream is ambitious, but imagine with me for a second. Roaming a 3D version of the environments found in Minish Cap. Now imagine acquiring the Minish Cap Ezlo and using the ability to shrink. Still in that same environment, but from a whole new perspective. The mushrooms that you once stood above now tower over you like trees. The puddle that you stepped in before is now a lake, and the old shoe you saw on the side of the road is actually a Minish's home. Seeing The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap remade in 3D would truly be incredible. Even though all the games on my list are pie in the skies, this one seems the most crazy, and one that a studio probably might turn down if given the chance, just because of this huge scale of ideas. Marvel games are being announced left and right and will start coming out at a steady pace, bar there are no delays, which there most certainly will be. Now Marvel games can hit, and Marvel games can miss. Like Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers was actually given to a great studio, but Square had them produce a live service game, instead of a game that uses the strengths of Crystal Dynamics, leaving us with a game that's fighting against itself to be an enjoyable experience. Sorry. With Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics being the most recent studios to use the Avengers name in gaming, it may be some time until another developer decides to take a crack at the group of remarkable people and see what they could do more. Like for us, we're dreaming. And what talented studio's time do I wish to craft yet another Marvel game? Naughty Dog. Look, I want a narrative-heavy, cinematic Avengers experience that isn't in the movies. I want to play this one, okay? And who else does it better than Naughty Dog? In my imagination, you play as Captain America and Tony Stark. Throughout the story, you switch back and forth, similar to The Last of Us Part 2. The other Avengers are there, of course, but in gameplay, they serve as buddies like Tess or Sully. I think Naughty Dog can craft a really strong story in the Marvel world, one that's unique and doesn't feel like it's been done before. And I think Naughty Dog would be perfect to create cinematic set pieces sprinkled throughout the adventure due to their history in Uncharted. I know Naughty Dog's talent should be used elsewhere, and not in a Marvel game, but we're dreaming. Thank you so much for sitting through my list of crazy games that'll never happen. Do you have a dream game that seems a little crazy, whether it be a sequel or remake or a collaboration born from delusion like mine? If you do, let us know in the comments down below. I'd love to read all of them. Now don't forget to watch Podcast PXN live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and on Twitch. Until next time, I'm Rashan. Drink more water, eat more mozzarella sticks, and later will be greater.